Our next guest is one of the world's best-selling authors. She's penned an incredible number of books, including the Scarpetta series. Her newest novel, Dust, promises to be her best tale yet. And I'm going to say something. I'm going to read this to you. It says, "The clangor of the phone violates the relentless roll of rain, beating the roof like drumsticks. I sit straight up in bed, my heart leaping in my chest like a startled squirrel as I glance at the illuminated display to see who it is." That is just the opening sentence. Good morning, Patricia Cornwell.
Good morning.
Whoa, what a great opening for this book.
Well, thank you.
You know, I got to tell you this because I could read your bio. It'd take me 20 minutes to just talk about all the awards that you have run and won. But what I want to know is, do you have a good night's sleep that your mind isn't working on the next project or some plot that you're forming in your mind?
Well, I think that's a good question. My mind usually is not at rest, and I'm always thinking about the next book or is out there and the types of research I do. I'm thinking about what I read in the news because I interpret things through the mind of Scarpetta. I wonder, how would she respond to this? What would be her perspective? How would she work a case like this? And in a perfect world, I wish I could enter into work every case because the outcome would be what it should be, as much as anybody can make something right that after such a terrible wrong. So, yeah, unfortunately, my mind is never really stopping. It's just always going to the next thing.
I know, and that's got to be exhausting for you. Really, I'm very serious about this. When you're sitting still, are you still?
I'm usually off in thought somewhere, but it's actually, my life is very interesting, and I guess because it's so rooted in what the real people do, I have a passion about it, and it's a lot easier to be busy if you're really passionate about what you do.
Yes, and loving what you do.
I deeply care about police, and yeah, I deeply care about police and the forensic experts. I care about victims. I care about their families. I care about this aspect of life, which is the most difficult for anyone to ever imagine dealing with. And I want to give you the company of some really great characters who I think make you want to spend time with them.
Well, the fact that these novels have proven to be so successful and popular just shows the interest that you have generated in the forensic world. I mean, there are now young people jumping into that field more and more, and I think that's due a lot of part to these novels of yours.
The novels certainly started it. A lot of people today are also watching all these shows and get interested that way, but I do have, now that Scarpetta's been out there for 23 years, I frequently at public events have people who come up to me and say they went into forensic pathology or forensic science or even law enforcement or crime scene investigation because of reading these books when they were young. And that's a huge tribute. I'm so happy if I've had a decent influence on some people.
Oh my gosh, and the fact that you are a real medical examiner, I'm curious about this. What age were you when you walked into your family and said, you know, I think I want to do autopsies on bodies, and what did they say to you? Are you crazy or what?
Well, you know, what you're saying is what a lot of people think, but here I'll tell you that you'll get the dirty secret. I actually was a writer. What I started doing in a governor's office for 6 years to learn enough to write about a Scarpetta character, but it is absolutely true. I have a lot of people who call me Dr. Cornwell, and I go, no, I'm just a major or an author. But I've become a casual or informal ongoing student of all this, and I've been studying it for almost 20 years now. The first time I stepped foot in a morgue was in 1984.
Oh my gosh, 1984 you stepped into a morgue. How many
it is? I losing count.
Oh.
And my family did say, as did friends, what are you doing in a place like that?
Well, you know what? There are millions of people who are glad that you did, because you opened the world to us with these novels of yours. And you're also a beautiful woman, and I'm also fascinated about what you're like when you're not writing and where you go to rest. So maybe next time when you have a new novel, we'll find out more about the real Patricia Cornwell. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You can pick up your copy of Dust wherever you buy your books, and keep an eye on Facebook later today because we'll be giving this copy away to one of you. Next, we're taking a look at some beautiful fashions, courtesy of a designer from right here in our own backyard, so you stick around.